making out. The left night, Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3K subs in 8 months, wanna shout you for all the love. Community, we keep it strong. Plarium back and forth, just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster, you can call us Raidzillas. Sacreds, I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say, YSG, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come on, bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit way with the clickbait, got paid, I made, I rate viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we can bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shark 2X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those that spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hand like Victor Tiz. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sean party with Layla at, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raidzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one mass bench stress, try to roll substats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click. Like a lab rat is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Wait a minute, go do your potty breaks, go do what you need to do, get ready, because we got a lot of big questions to ask today. What's going on with Plarium?
Get a pack free, sadly, never had mean. Keep a mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna.
Sorry about that, guys. Not sure what happened there, but I think my system messed up a little bit.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB, shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jensen. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight, Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community, we keep it strong. Plarium back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raidzillas. Sacreds, I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say YST, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come on, bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit waiting with the clickbait, got paid, I made, I raid viz. Glow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Shard 2X, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster, if things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those that spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hand like Victor Ted. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla F, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raidzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stress, trying to roll sub stats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the menace here to dominate him, greatest ever nominate him. Get inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate. I'm cutting him again, my lips gonna blade him with a skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing right afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm medieval, I'm a killer. You need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth who lives in me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause there ain't no seeing me. I'm the deity of rapidity, inquisitive speed and killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with Dutch invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. The god I rate a ruler. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Told me got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plarium set is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, dude, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jetson. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my Shanakin. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Plarium back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us raid zillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say YST, you've got a cold heart. Yo, Smiley, come on, bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire, spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid Zilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit waking with a clickbait, got paid, I made, I raid viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we then bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Start 2x, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, on your mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raid Zilla, fire, spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raid Zilla, fire. Monster, shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Tiz. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla App, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raid Zilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stretch, trying to roll sub stats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the minutes here to dominate him, greatest ever nominate him. Get inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate him, cutting him again. My lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing rate afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm a villain, I'm a killer. You need to seal him, a thriller me. I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep engraving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed of killing any affinity. Motherfucker, you better run or you finna be dead like free to play in silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch. I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable. I'm rolling with Dutchess invisible. I'm inexplicable. I'm unequivocal. I'm unforgivable. I'm fucking biblical. An orange criminal. You never catch him digital. They got our radar ruler. Man, stop.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and Bumblebee my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jensen. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my Shanakin. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Plarium back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raidzillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like frost bringers. Some say YSG you've got a cold heart. Your smiley come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spitter monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
Heard he quit waking with a clickbait, got paid, I made, I rate viz. Flow like nitrate, my fate is. Show you where my knife blade ends. Better hope we can bring the friends. Dopamine and the dopamine. Crack your skull like an opening. Start 2x, here we go again. I'm a universe of death and I'm beyond your comprehension. I'll decapitate that fool if he enters my dimension. Alone in my life now, I don't need your permission. Boot all my cheaters out, call that CC suspension. Hair like extension, but without all the excuses. Looking for a top, I've been feeling all your nooses. I don't know when to stop, I be violating truces. Someone needs to do this, let me show you where the truth is. Clickbait like Medusa, your views are what I use. Like the words on my hoodie, I need a mirror to get through. You should fear the tubes, I've been deadly with the blues. I've been known to kill a synth, I'm a shepherd of the news.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chest, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Raidzilla, fire spitter monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V carpet. Fire, Raidzilla, fire. Monster. Shards on the dance floor, Louis V carpet.
2021, what a year. Bittersweet is coming to an end. We gon' highlight a few things for the free to play and those to spin. Geomancer bro for one day, got us all hitting like Victor Tiz. He did it first though without a bug, man, he hit for over 700 mil. Sharp party with Layla at, who got partner this year. J Gigs, Uncle Patches, Smiley, and Mr. Tham. Big shout to Saffron Man, he the one that got us all hit. Can't forget Hell Hades, helped us all to optimize gear. Doom Tower trying to do it fast, so we all gotta comp with us here. Or just use Chris, like Kenpachi says. I've been imagining the day that I could beat the Raidzilla monster. Gonna need a savage set, crit rate on attack chest. Gear cleanse, you be lucky if you get a gear cleanse. Front one, a mass bench stress, trying to roll substats. Will it be speed, will it be flat? CVC got me click, clack, click, clack, click like a lab rat. Is H-dub, you can ask chat. Yo, Gigs, tell him what's next.
Get a pack free, sadly, never happening. Keep 'em mad with the packs we bring. I can't be taking that heat. Take it back to brackets, the Halloween ringer. Look at my stat sheet. What attracts these people is my greatness, bitch. Like a 10x with a Valkyrie, like fat chicks. You never gonna grab me, neither. RNG the menace here to dominate, I'm greatest ever nominate. I'm getting inside the beat like I'm a surgeon, time to operate. I'm cutting him again, my lyrics gonna blade him with the skill up above every fucking body in the game, debilitating every rapper thinking they can integrate him and make anybody who playing rate afraid to pay, but don't nobody want it, but they're gonna spin it anyway. Cause y'all beginning to see that I'm a medieval, I'm a killer, you need to seal him, a thriller me, I'm a Liam Manila, you bringing the villain within me out of me. You don't wanna be here when I free the behemoth to listen me. I keep it raving, call me Cena, cause they're in the sea of me. I'm the deity of rapidity, increasing the speed and killing any infinity. Motherfucker, you better run it, you finna be dead like free to play and silver 300% of you players couldn't beat a tenth of me. I'm at it to diminish you, bitch, I'm despicable. You wanna battle, I'm unkillable, I'm rolling with Dutch, invisible, I'm inexplicable, I'm unequivocal, I'm unforgivable, I'm fucking biblical, an orange criminal, you never catch 'em digital, they got our radar roller. Man, stop.
Thank you all so much for the support. Thank you for hanging around while I'm trying to get things ready.
Magic keep, you know I'm bringing force like I'm Anakin. Torment got you frozen, now you pose like a mannequin. Solo with that crimson and bomb will be my witness. No heart like I'm Harvest, from January to Christmas. You don't wanna miss this, more fusions. Welcome to Teleria, miscreate when I stepped in. Plat reset is risky, like Clambo sending you back to the Bastion. System is getting landed, Legos are getting unfolded now. 100k that's Hades, 100k that's Ash. 100 mil on CB shouts to Deadwood, that's that. One artifact that's 5 mil, one amulet that's 10. CC's killing off this beat, murder raking with that pen. I've got my mask on like Jetson. Victor holding records like weights out of bench press. Samurai Shing in arena with my shadow kid. Jemba when now you're panicking. Skull crowns are getting taken out. Death Knight like Layla Fox. Sharp pulls for that summon rush. 3k subs in 8 months. Wanna shout you for all the love. Community we keep it strong. Plarium back and forth just like ping pong. Maybe in 5 years we'll get that Hydra boss. Forget a monster. You can call us Raidzillas. Sacreds. I don't wanna see ice like Frost Bringers. Some say YSG you've got a cold heart. Yo Smiley come and bring that heat like Ignatius.
Monster. If things don't go my way, then I'm gonna have to crunch you. Feed you to my chance, to the tavern where we go soon. I can't wait to see where this is going, what you gon' do. I don't give a damn how you feel, oh boo-hoo. Wait till the fire spit a monster. Shards of the dance floor, Louis V.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another podcast of the Knights of Teleria. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for waiting the 20 plus minutes for me to set everything up. It has been a hell of a time. I missed you guys. 2 weeks, no show. You know, we had Mother's Day, lots of things going on, and I'm glad that we're back. I missed you all so much, so much. And you know, this show would not be possible without all of my co-hosts. And today we got a big panel, guys. And there's also somebody here that you might see that is making their way back to Raid. And we're going to start off with him. Mr. Tham, you have been the one that decided to do a Nuking Duchess. Can you tell us why?
Why? I was bored. I had nothing to do. So I was like, okay, let me build a Nuke Duchess. Savage, one-shotting people in arena. Why not? It was fun.
Okay. How's your week,
was really
man? I see you streaming the past couple of days, Raid. How is that coming on?
The comeback is real still. Like, there's a lot of work to be done, and yeah. I'm not gonna say I'm having fun yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't miss, but yeah.
Did you at least get all the login champions?
Yeah, most of the login champions are there. Yes.
Okay, that's good. All right, so let's start with the top red little square up there. We've got the one who's going to share a fun little fact about my account today, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Good to be back after a 1 week break. I miss you guys. Hopefully, you guys doing well as well.
Streamer of the year.
Yeah, a little bit tighter.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Streamer of the Year.
Come on.
So, thank you very much. You have a little fun fact you want to share about my account?
Oh yeah, we did a little bit gear cleanse today, guys. This morning on the BLAZIN account, and I was like, he have a 30 million PP. You know, like he's finishing cursed and stuff like that. He's probably spent more than $14, I'm guessing. But his gear, like his gear, like 5-star, 6-star rare gear, like random set, then on the inventory, like subset doesn't. I mean, 6-star rare gear on the random doesn't matter which subset or the main stat, right? On that kind of level account. But did you see your silver, man?
It was an easy cleanse then?
I did. I saw my silver. Yeah, it was. I don't know. He had what was it, 1,500 pieces plus like another 400 in the mail.
Yeah, 1,900 piece, and I got you 1,000 space from that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So, no, a lot of that went into, you know, I kept a lot of pieces to try to build that for Cursed City. So it was out of hand, and I was just like, I don't want to sit here and do it. So, hey, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, if you do want a gear cleanse, Mr. Kenpachi has how many more days on the sponsor?
3 days left.
3 days left. Drop that link in the chat. All you guys got to do is get to like 100,000 player power,
100K,
which will take you. I think it took me like 4 or 5 hours of playing it, and you guys get yourself a full gear cleanse, right? Make sure you guys go give him some support, show him some love, and if you need a gear cleanse, like I said, I trust him with my account. So underneath him in the blue little box, we've got Mr. G Mills. Hey, how are the shard pulls going?
0 for 14 on the main account this weekend. I got no gold, and then I picked up a Great Hoof Loriaka on the free to play, which I had actually missed last summer. So new champ. I was pretty happy about that.
Okay. Next up, let's go with the one sitting in that sexy green light. Mr. MXPJ. PJ, what's going on, brother?
Me? What? No, just kidding. I'm doing great, bro. Yeah, missed you guys last week. Glad to be back this week. Speaking of New Duchess, that reminded me of something. We were talking about Storm Pull as 2 Galatheers. He actually has really good multipliers on his second form. His A1 is a 3.5 AoE, and his A2 is an AoE 5.5. So like that'd be kind of interesting to like do a little New Galatheer just to throw that in, because you have 2. Like 1, I probably wouldn't do it, but 2 might be an option.
Okay.
But yeah, doing great. Happy to be here.
Is my sound a little bit better, guys? I tried to turn it up. I know I just don't want to blow anybody's ears, but chat, let us know. All right, so right next to me, to I guess my left, his right, or camera right, I don't know, left and right, who knows. But we have Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, how are you, sir? How is the dabbing going?
The dabbing is going great. I'm excited for this week. I'm so glad to be back. We did miss last week, but you know what? The wife probably enjoyed the kid not taking her out for breakfast instead of the show. So that was a win. So thank you for that. And let's see. Friday night we pulled Galacad, or however you say his name. We got the new champ on the progressive on that, and then chat convinced me to go with the Pogo, and I got my 3rd Norog and my 1st Noble, and I don't have a ninja on my account to even use Noble. So that was that. But fun fact, if you watched Ash's videos this week, you notice he finally used Hill Hades Optimizer and he increased his speeds tremendously. Well, I was on the recipient end of that in live arena, and he smoked me. Although I did last 4 minutes, which is longer than I normally last. Ask my wife. But welcome. I'm glad to be here. Let's go.
I do hear that there was another creator that actually managed to win a fight against them.
Yes, PJ.
Let's go. Snag that.
Yeah, I got smoked.
All right.
It's probably before he optimized though, so I don't know. I probably need a rematch and see how he is now.
Next,
we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Next to Mr. Tham, sporting that luscious, gorgeous Raid Shadow Legends swag, is the one, the only Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, how are you, brother?
Doing swell, man. It's good to be back after all this, time off, and just been working on Wixwell, doing a whole bunch of takeovers on my side, and just been playing and ready to get back to it.
Very nice, brother. All right, and then last but not least, sporting the Smiley TK Sexy 2.0 shirt, is Mr. Storm Gaming. Storm, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be back. Thanks for having me on once again. Missed last week's. Couldn't wait for this week. Let's get it going.
All right, chat. So I gotta ask a creator question of the week, and I'm gonna ask it both to them and to you guys, and I want to find out what your answers are. So make sure you put them in the chat. Now, let me ask you guys: if money was no problem and you could go anywhere in the world, right here, right now, the most magical place for you to be in, where would it be if there was no restrictions? Let's go ahead and start with Mr. Zero Brew first.
Did you see me look glazed and over in my face when you asked?
You're actually the bottom on my Discord, so I was like, I'm going to go from the bottom up.
Sounds good. On my bucket list is like, I really want to go to Japan, especially after watching the Shogun series recently. But then also Australia's on my bucket list, and I've been told if you're making that long of a flight to that side of the world, you might as well hit them both at the same time. So if money was no object, send me to Japan, send me to Australia. Let's go.
Okay, Japan and Australia. All right, PJ, what about you, brother? Where would you go?
Oh god, that's such a hard question. Probably Italy. Be doing a tour over there.
All right, eating a lot of pasta, gelato.
Yeah. Going through the canals.
Okay. Mr. Tham?
I back also Japan on that part, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
Japan been like a place I wanted to visit for a long time.
Okay. We got Nepal here in the chat. We got Medivh Islands. Okay. Jay, what about you, brother? Where would you want to go?
The 3 places I would go to is Japan, Brazil, and then Egypt in that order.
Japan, Brazil, and then Egypt. Egypt is the one that I'm trying to place why. I know for the other 2 why because of you, but elaborate a little bit.
Wait, Jay, I thought you are from Brazil.
No, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Ecuadorian. I was born in New York.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gestal, what about you, brother? Where would you go?
So I took this class in high school. It was anthropology class. It was like a senior class, very easy. We basically watched Third Rock from the Sun like every Tuesday, like a total senior class. But he taught for like a month straight about Easter Island. Easter Island is insane and in the middle of freaking nowhere. And if I could just be teleported somewhere, because I don't think I'd want to fly to that place, that's where I'd want to go. That's where they have all the big head statues that like no one really knows how they're there or why they're there. So I think that'd be cool, man. I'd love to go there.
All right. Ken, what about you, brother?
In Kenpachi, like Japan. I really want to go to Japan. I love anime. I love manga. Their culture is so different, man. Like I really curious to see that. Like they are building stuff like that. I seen like on the animes or the like IRL streamer. I watch lots of IRL streamer from Japan. It's so I don't know. It's so different. I really want to see. Plus, I love waifus. So yeah. Another thing is I'm a big fan of the nature. Like I don't want to go. I mean, Japan, I want to go, but I don't know, is that the place I want to visit? Because Japan is all about mostly building, right? It's a small country, lots of people, and lots of building.
To it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really want to go like some Asian countries like Indonesia or stuff like that, beautiful nature, Like, I really want to see tropical weather, man. Yeah. And Rio Carnival, yeah.
Okay. All right. Storm, what about you, brother? Where would you go?
Oh, I live in the tropical weather day in, day out, so none of that for me. Would have to be change of scenery. You know what? There's a lot of places. Honestly, I'd probably bucket list where I haven't been yet.
Yeah?
Not sure, really. There's so many places.
If you could just go right now, where would it go? First thought in your head.
I'd love to. I know I was born there, but not a bucket list. I'd love to go back to Ukraine right now, but of course I can't do that right now because of situations, because of reasons. So it'd be great to go see my family again, but that'll happen one day. Somewhere where I haven't been yet, though, we had it planned and then COVID happened and kind of put that down. Italy. We haven't been to Italy yet, and my wife and we'd love to take family to Italy and hit a couple of at least different spots there. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, maybe in a couple of years when the show gets a little bit bigger, we might all just do a meetup in Japan or something, because it sounds like that's pretty much on everybody's bucket list. But
we do a live show from there. Let's do it. We'll put it in the Lights of Teleria budget. We'll all go to Japan and we'll do a live show. It's fine.
Write it off.
Yeah.
It's a write-off.
As for me, like the number one place I've always wanted to go is actually Ireland, because I have a lot of friends that are from there and they always talk about how gorgeous and beautiful it is. And I've always been attracted to, especially like the first time I ever watched Mel Gibson in Braveheart. I was always just kind of like, oh my god, like that whole area just looks awesome, and it's one of those things that I want to go. I won't do it with my kids. I'll do it with my wife, and I are a little older, retired and stuff. But that is somewhere we're looking to go. But let's go ahead and talk about something. So originally for today's show, I wanted to talk about empowerment and some of the stuff that came into the game. But then we had a viewer suggest a topic, which was what is going on with Raid right now amongst their mid-annual report. And I do want to give a big shout out to Boozer, who did a video. I probably didn't get the best picture of him right there. Let's go ahead and maybe show something that doesn't make him look bad. Sorry, man. But he did a video breaking down kind of their mid-quarter financials and pointed out a couple of things. And so we're going to watch the video. I'm going to stop it through some points and ask you guys some questions. But could Plarium become a entity of, let's say, Microsoft or another big gaming company? Is that something that's going to happen? I think we have a lot of things to discuss, and there's a lot of valid points that he makes in this video. But let's go ahead. Let's get into it. First of all, if you already haven't, make sure you do go follow Boozer over on his YouTube channel. Great content creator. Love the guy.
Free to play.
Very, yes. I think he's actually more free to play than Kenpachi.
Yeah, there's.
Sold in
All right, let's go ahead
your
and put the
future.
video on.
Now, there's reasonable speculation that this will happen or potential to happen, and I will explain myself in this video. But first, make sure you guys like and subscribe the video and to my channel if you guys enjoy the content. It's a huge support for myself, of course. And also, if you guys are interested, I do have a Discord channel, so if you guys want to connect with me outside of YouTube, you guys are free to do so on my Discord channel, so make sure you guys hit that up. So without further ado, let's jump into the topic of this video. Okay guys, so first things first, Plarium just did a midterm or a mid-year annual address. Basically, if you guys aren't aware, Plarium, which is the studio that develops Raid, is actually equipment, and they do have a gaming online division, and obviously Raid Shadow Legends belongs in that division for the.
Okay, so let me just stop right here because he does put something in that we don't really, a lot of us don't know. Plarium is actually owned by Aristocrat, who does make the gambling slot machines, and that's why I feel like Raid is probably done so well because of that aspect. But there's a lot of people that don't know that. I honestly didn't know this for probably about a year or two ago when I found out. Like, I started playing this game, I just thought it was like a regular other mobile game. But at what point did you guys realize that or know that this game was owned by a casino gambling company? Ken?
First of all, probably more than 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, but learning this didn't change anything from me. Like, I really don't know who is the company behind the other gacha game I play, but like I always say, this is the one of the game is much free-to-play friendly, man. This game is unique. You can do successful on this game without spending money. There is even worse game than this. Like, if you are gonna judge the game by the company behind them, I'm pretty sure, I mean, not pretty sure, but like, I feel like Aristocrat or that was the company, right? I feel like they are leaving Plarium alone. They are not, how to say that, affect them that much,
Right.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
because like casino company, like I was expect Raid is way more pay to win, if you let them to change everything, for you. I feel like Aristocrat is not touching the Raid that much, or yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm finding this game is super free to play. I mean, not super free to play friendly, but free to play friendly.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a pay to win elements like every free to play game have.
Right. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I guess I learned when I started streaming. It's not something I ever really looked into. I started streaming about 2 years ago, and just normal conversation with people. It just came up then. I would say that's probably when I learned about it.
Okay. Mr. Tham?
I'm the wrong person to ask about free to play. I never played this game free to play. But okay, I'm gonna be honest. There's our worse game than this that you cannot play free to play. But also Plarium, it's not very friendly, in my opinion.
Why
Like,
did you become
okay, they
aware
give
of
you.
the whole being owned by a casino company?
I've been known that for like the get go, basically,
Okay.
from the beginning.
All right.
I'm still playing it. If the game is good, you play it. It doesn't matter who owns it.
Okay. All right. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I've been playing for almost 3 years. Probably within the first year, I learned about it, and to me, it just kind of like made sense. I was like, oh, like this is very gambly, made from a casino game. Like it's kind of just,
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, like that kind of makes sense now. Kind of connected the dots and everything. Yeah, made more sense actually once I figured that out.
All right. Storm, what about you, brother?
From the get-go, I used to watch a content creator by the name of Kizzle.
Yeah.
He's actually in real life. He actually deals with acquisitions of companies and stuff like that. So he did a bunch of videos already before, just looking at as they were coming up, as Plarium was coming up, Aristocrat, how their earnings were. It was important to him because, of course, he was doing streaming, probably making a few bucks off of it. So he wanted to see if he could make it his real job or not. You know what I mean? So I knew it from the get-go. It makes sense, like you guys say. It's shark pooling. It's a gamble. You're gonna get
Okay.
somebody or not. You know what I mean? So it makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, free to play or not. I don't really know free to play, but yeah, I know people do it, so it's definitely possible. So if it's possible, it's possible. It depends on you personally. What kind of do you have patience? Do you have to wait for regeneration of energy to go hit those dungeons or pulling champs?
Okay.
So it all makes sense.
Zero, what about you, man? When did you find out?
I probably found out when I started back streaming after taking a break. Once I just started playing the game, about 3 or 4 months into it. And ironically enough, I didn't actually spend all that much money up front. And then after I probably found out, was when I started giving them my paychecks.
Okay. So now let me ask you guys this question. Knowing if you had this information that this was more of a gambling style of a game at the start, would you have picked this up? Would you have played Raid Shadow Legends? Or would you have said, nah, move over, I'm done, I'm going to go play something else? And I'm going to start with, let's go with Ken first, since he's free to play.
No, man. Like I don't judge the book by the cover. To be honest, I like to play myself. Experience myself and judge by little bit playing. I know little bit playing is not enough, but if I like it, I will continue. Here's the thing: like you can play a pay to win game as a free to play, unless if you are not, hey man, I'm gonna be number one, stuff like that. I mean, if you're not curious about something like that, like why you try to rush yourself, right? Just play. If you enjoy it, I know it's gonna take some time, but just play the way you like it or the way you can. Because there is always gonna be someone better than you. I mean, that's real life, man.
Right.
Elon Musk. What can I do to Elon Musk, for example, right?
Okay. All right. So
I cannot even sweet him. This is real life. Real life is pay to win. I don't know why people are getting too aggressive about whenever raid is prism shard, right? For example, super scam, super pay to win. I totally agree with you. But guys, this is how is life. I mean, end of the day, they are trying to make a money from free to play game. So you need to spend money. So this game will continue development.
Okay. All right. So Ken says he still would have played it. Chat, what about you guys? Would you, if you knew off the start what Raid was owned by a casino gambling company, and you knew that their intent behind it was to just milk what they could, would you have picked up Raid Shadow Legends? Would you have continued to play it for as long as you have? Storm, what about you?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Would you, if you had known from the start, from day one, prior to picking up and downloading the game, would you have played Raid Shadow Legends knowing that it is owned by a casino gambling company?
Yeah, absolutely. That
Okay.
doesn't matter to me at all. I don't care who owns it. If I like the game, if I like the flow, if I like the graphics, which is huge for Raid, this is probably their bread and butter of why
Okay.
they're still around. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me who makes it.
Okay. So doesn't matter who makes it as long as you like it, you're still gonna play it, you're still gonna download it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with Mr. MXPJ.
I think I would have been. I mean, I'm always cautious going into games, but I've probably been more cautious with the spending. I was free to play for the first like 4 or 5 months until I first started spending. So, but I don't think it takes like a big brain to join or to play this game and realize that there's like a gotcha mechanic and it's like gambling. So, like, it's not like a surprise when you find out that it's owned by a gambling company. So, yeah, I still would have played it. Just would have been just more careful with spending, but I think I would have led to the same result either way.
Okay. All right. I'm getting some stuff from chat here that says I probably wouldn't have downloaded it. Some people are saying they would. All right. Let's go Jay next. What about you?
So I never got to really answer the first question, but I found out like 3.5 years ago. And then for the second question, no, it's okay. I basically, after the whole Darth situation, right, with the 1-star review, that's pretty much when information started to come out to the community, and then Kizzle started doing videos, and then basically just the community, like creators and community, wanted to know what was going on, like why are they so tough. Eventually, that like information, like that's when data mining was really popular back then in Raid because we didn't get that much info. So then eventually we found out they were, bought out by a gambling company and stuff like that. So that was for me for the first question. Second one, I probably would have honestly played more free to play, or at least because I'm like a challenge. I've always noticed that free to play, since you're not spending, you have to think more outside the box. You're very limited, which makes it a little bit more tougher, but it's a higher reward. Investing into your account is fine, but sometimes when it is pay to win, so you sometimes miss a lot of the aspects of the game that you kind of just push beyond. So I easily would have just saved a lot of money. Like a lot of people don't know this, but we didn't have the packs that we have nowadays. Back then, like I even bought from the shop, which is crazy, right? With the non-pack stuff, and I probably would have changed that. I would have definitely been more free to play, or at least low spender. Knowing this information, I would have not spent as much as I'd have.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Zero.
Because I heard two questions there, but yeah. What was the original question?
The question I want you to answer. The question I want you to answer is, if you had known from the start that Raid was owned by a casino gambling company, would you have picked it up prior to downloading it?
I'll say that. Yeah, I probably would have still played it. It's a great game, and for me, with my ADHD, as to why I need you to ask the question again. It keeps my attention for 18 hours a day. Come on, Plarium, make it faster. Play this game. But yeah, I still would have played it. And I think that if I wasn't streaming it, I would not have been maybe playing it as dedicated as I do. I'll just say that.
Okay.
I'll say that, yeah.
All right. Mr. Tham.
Yeah, I thought you could ask me something else. It's in the same question, like, okay. It doesn't matter. It wouldn't change anything, because if you look at the whole gacha game, every gacha game is a gambling. You gamble on every gacha game, regardless.
Yeah, gacha mean gamba, basically.
Yeah, gacha, it's basically gambling in general, regardless. So it won't basically affect the fact that it's owned by a casino company or whatever, because at the end of the day, every single gacha game, you gamble, you summon, the summoning aspect is there, you just find the game that's good for you. That's it.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the company would have to do something completely egregious for me to not want to support them. I don't feel like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I wasn't around all during the you know, the whole thing when it came out that they were bought up by Aristocrat. I don't know if it was like a shady thing or not. They were trying to hide it, that they were part of a gambling company or not. I don't really know how that went down. But I think like egregious, like let's say the company, you know, stole money from, you know, from their player base or whatever. Like I think that'd be really the only way I wouldn't support a game that I enjoyed playing. They'd have to be a pretty bad company, and obviously I don't think they've done that, to my knowledge. So
okay, I'm gonna be quite honest here. Like if I had known from my end from the start, I probably would not have picked it up. There would have been a very slim chance that I would have been playing, just because I'm not a gambler. I buy like a lottery ticket, like a $1 scratch ticket, and I lose my money, and then I cry that I wasted my hard-earned money on that ticket, which I know, chat, I know, go for it. Just, I know what you're going to say, but yeah, I would not have picked up the game knowing that. That's just me. All right, let's keep going in and let's see what else we've got to find out.
This massive company. I did a quick visual here. So basically, Aristocrat Leisure is the operating company at the very top, and they have two divisions in their business. One is just gaming, physical machines. They go through rental, servicing, selling of gaming machines. That's the big part of their business. And the second half of their business is called online gaming, and obviously this part is where games such as Raid Shadow Legends belongs. They also have another part of their online gaming which is more like sports betting, lottery, other kind of like gambling related games. So they just released this mid-year annual report. It's really cool just to dive into and see what is exactly happening with the company, or at least the big company that owns Raid Shadow Legends. So I want to provide you guys with a little bit of a background before we can make our speculative assumption or reasoning behind, will Raid Shadow Legends be sold? That's the big question.
And that is a question I will be asking you in just a minute here. So do get thinking about that.
Want to figure out based on these financial documents. So I took a look at these financial documents, and basically Aristocrat, which is the big company overseeing everything, they're making a ton of money. They're making a ton of money year after year. Every year they're making money. So we don't have to.
They're definitely making 3.3 billion. 1.2 billion. Yeah, so they're not hurting for money. You know, they've got a pretty good niche right there that they're in. Gambling is a very heavy you know, return on profits.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, can I ask a quick question? Do we know if Aristocrat is publicly traded on the stock market?
I do believe they are, yes.
Okay, okay, that makes a difference as to these numbers and thinking about it. So, okay, go ahead.
Closing its lights and this game getting the plug pulled from it. But the big thing to take away from this report that I got is that based on the two divisions of their business, we see here Aristocrat Gaming, which is, like I said, the division that basically has the machines and servicing and sales and rentals. They're growing at about 8%, 11%, basically year over year, which is
that's a big number, growing, you know, 8 to 11%. That's huge for a company. I don't know, you know, if any of you have been in management before, but to be able to grow your business that much in one single year is astronomical profits.
Very solid growth. But you can kind of tell after we go over some of these other documents that their gaming portion is very lopsided in terms of how they're growing. And we can see a clear kind of indicator in that business that there are going to be some struggles here. So I'm not going to go over every little bit here, but basically here, Pixel United, which is the overseeing, I guess, division that oversees Plarium and all the studio title games like Viking, Mech Arena, whatever. This part of the business is actually not doing significantly well. The revenue is actually down. So when you're looking at the other part of the gaming division where all the numbers are all going up, profit, revenue, everything, the total revenue for Pixel United, which includes Plarium, Plarium games, they're actually going down. And of course,
so I do want to make a quick thing here. When when Plarium was acquired by Aristocrat, it was acquired for $500 million. That was prior to Raid being released. Which, if you think about it now, if they're making $875 million, I don't see, or I don't have a copy of the report to see exactly what Plarium itself did, but I think it was something at like $400 million just itself. That is some crazy numbers there. That means that on Pixel United, 50% of the profits that came in, or of the money that came in, was just from one single mobile game. That, I find it to be ridiculous. It's huge. It's huge.
Most of the biggest profits and values all come from actually Raid. Not surprisingly, this has always been the case in many past years. But you can kind of see here over the past years or so, 2022, 2023, 2024, we see a steady decline in the RPG strategy action part, which is the green section here. We see a steady decline in total.
So I want to ask right there, 2022, 33 million. Then they're about a 30 million loss there. And then this year, they're about a 10 million loss. We know that Plarium went from last quarter, going from a new player acquisition, moving over to keeping retention, right? Do you guys think that this is possibly what led them to go to that point and say, okay, well, let's not worry more about bringing in those new players. We're gonna hold on to, because it looks like they've been trying to, I guess, squeeze everything they can, or at least that's what it feels a lot of the times. But I guess the question I'm going to ask is, would you see this as a concerning factor if it's coming down year after year after year by, what is it? First year it came down 10%, second year it came down about 3% is what it looks like. Is this something that you find as a problem, right? Let's start with Zero first.
Oh, well, so is the blue actual Raid, and then the green is like a different
Raid. So the green is
Raid.
Raid.
So the green is Raid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, okay, so just taking a step back and just putting my brain into all this whole thing, right? So like, I feel like I know they're in like profit mode now. But the other thing is with the longevity of the game, and I can only speak to my spending habits, right? So like, I spent to get myself caught up because I came in 2 years and I felt like I was way behind, and I was producing content or whatever, so I could justify it. So I think I've reached a cap where, and I know we were talking about mythicals and people getting duped mythicals in here, and I haven't pulled my first one yet. I've only pulled like 127 primals so far. I had to go all the way to Mercy to get my first Lego out of it, but just saying, yeah, my spending habits have curtailed completely. I buy like the monthly gem pack, and if they're lucky, I get the monthly shard packs. That's probably like the most bang for your buck. Okay. At this point. And so I think, like you said, if they're going from new player acquisition to player retention, they are producing more content. I'm sure producing content costs a lot of money, but then also you get people like me who were spenders or whales or whatever you want to call us, and now I'm slowing down because I've reached my limit. So they're going to retain me because I've invested, but I don't know how much more they're going to get out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. PJ?
Yeah, so kind of to go off of what he just Zero said, I kind of agree. Once you get to late game, end game, you kind of slow down the spending unless you're like a top tier, high end like whale that you're trying to push PvP. Then you'll still spend a lot, but usually people like kind of TD or like slow down the spending. Another thing is like 2022 was like when Raid was super hot. That was like kind of like the climax probably, so it's not surprising that it like kind of goes down a little bit. I mean, that's not huge drop. It's not like 25-30% dropping.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it was roughly like a 13%, I think, is what I'm calculating here.
Right. So obviously, going down is not ideal, but I think just it going down a little bit is not that bad. And also, I think them switching to player retention versus player acquisition is huge. I mean, I think that was never the model to go by. I think it's always you want to get your players and keep them as long as possible, and not just have them recycle in like new players in and out. I don't think that's the way to do it.
Okay, Mr. Tham.
Ever since before I quit, I've been talking about this really. Like, we had a big problem with the game at that time that they are not catering for the current players who are actually spending the money, as we used to call it, the big spenders, right? Their strategy of just let's get someone in, make a quick buck, and if they love the game, if they stayed, was actually let's put it this way, the players didn't like it much. There is no care for the bigger players who are still playing the games for these 5 years. I felt okay, that strategy, you want to make money quick. I get it. It's a business after all. But also in the same time, cater for the other players,
Okay.
Can I say something about that?
Yep.
A great example, that's the revival pass. You get a battle pass if you don't play for a few months and you get Elva, but if you play the game consistently, you don't get the battle pass.
Mm-hmm.
It should be you get rewarded for playing the game, not rewarded for not playing the game.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And that is something that I do want to touch up on another episode with all these passes and stuff that they're doing, trying to bring back some of the player base. Jay, what about you?
No, it doesn't really concern me too much because we've seen over the years new gotchas have opened up. We saw with Empowerment, we saw what happened with Blessings. So of course, people are not going to go too crazy because the prices on some of these things, especially when they first drop, like Primal Shards, are just too high. If things were just a little bit lower, even someone like me might want to spend an extra 100 or 2. But being, they value certain things so high, so it only basically. People who are like Krakens or Cthulhu's or even like whales, they're able to spend it because they have the extra income, while most everybody else is mid to free to play. They can only spend on things that they need to for their accounts. Like MXPJ was saying, you get to a certain point, like late to end game, you don't really need to spend. You can if you want, but it's usually for the mid or late to get you to a certain point. Then you don't have to invest anymore. So I don't really see it too much, especially with all these new gotchas now. If it was going down 40 to 50 mil, then that's pretty huge jump each year. I'd be very scared at that point. But no, I'm not that. No, I think we're still holding pretty strong.
Okay.
And can I add to what he just said too? Yep. I think because we have real world inflation happening, especially if you live in the United States, and I'm sure everywhere else in the world. I know we got people from all over the world here, but they did in-game inflation. It's still just digital currency, and I'm sure their expenses went up too, just like everything in the world is happening right now. But the in-game inflation, especially as PJ and I said, you get closer to the end game. I remember a year ago, I bought and got XYZ, and now I'm paying 15-20% markup on this, or going from the 15 Sakers to the 20 or 25 Sakers for a guaranteed. That kind of stuff is very discouraging. Especially when you've already supported the company as far as you have. So just to add that in, the in-game inflation doesn't help that.
Yeah, and for anybody out there, going from the just new player acquisition, getting in those microtransactions, those $5, $10, $15 ones, over a few 100,000 people that were picking up the game, that was actually, that was the great way, like Mr. Tham just said, to make that quick buck. What they're trying to do now with the way they are, I mean, it's gonna take a couple of more quarters before they see the residual, how much further their profits are gonna be. But a lot of us trying to stay in the game aren't probably spending as much as we used to. But Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I watched the whole video, but I didn't obviously read through the entire financial report. But I was going through a lot of the replies from that video, and Greek Boss Looked like he kind of went through the numbers a little bit more. But he said the revenue is down 2%, but the profit is up 17%. And even better, their margins are up to a total of 35%. That is an insane margin. And the fact that their profit is up while they have little to less revenue means that they've managed to cut expenses.
Okay.
It even says their profit has grown from 262 million to 306 million. This financial report shows great year-over-year numbers. So like you can spin these things one way or another. I don't think it's financials that's the issue. They make so much money. They basically have a huge IP now. I feel like they've probably cornered a good portion of this market, even with a lot of new gachas coming in. They all fall down, man.
Yep.
So if they were to sell this off, I think it would solely be based on the fact that they're just like, this doesn't really suit our style. Like, it doesn't fit our total gambling style. I don't think it's a product of the game not being successful. I mean, it obviously is super successful, and the point, I mean, they have it at this point. I don't feel like this is like all right, sell it, but I don't you're not selling it because it's not performing, right? You're selling it. I already said it, right? You're selling it because it's yeah.
It's commonly done with a lot of industries where a big company will come in, buy something, beef it up, make it look nice and pretty, divide its assets, and then resell it. Something. I worked for UPS, and that was something that happened with like the freight division. They went in, they wanted to get into the freight. They got the freight company. They came in, they built it, they organized it. They bought it for some stupid amount of money. It was like $130 million, but they ended up selling it for like 800 million or something like that. Like 3 years later, it's how the nature of the beast is done. Ken, what about you?
I mean, I agree with the Gestal and the Jay. It's kind of how is this genre work? Gacha games, when they release it, everything is fine. Everybody start playing the game. Everything is hype. Everybody's spending, and it's over time. It's getting low. I think I'm seeing the same thing there. So over time, it's getting low. I believe people on the aristocrat should be know that. So I don't think they are going to be panicked because of that. Because this is kind of like almost every gacha game. Like, don't you guys remember like content creator? Raid is dying now. Raid killer. Like, they made a video about like maybe over 10 game.
Yeah.
And end of the day, Raid still the biggest one, right? Compared to the Dam. There is a couple of game, of course, got more successful than Raid, like Genshin Impact. Honkai Star, man, this Mihayo is like already killed the Raid and more than 50 times, maybe 100 times. So, but they are both of them is gacha game, but they are kind of different genre, like, so you cannot compare the Genshin Impact to the Raid. Raid is more like turn-based game, right? I don't know that numbers are sell reason, like, I really don't know anything about these numbers, guys. Doesn't mean anything to me, like, this is like, I didn't read like finance stuff, or I don't have this $1 million to think about them, so but Kizel, like Stormation, like Jay mentioned earlier, Kizel was kind of making that kind of video back in the day. And this video also reminds me similar, like Kizel was also making, Raid CEO is changing now, or what's gonna be happen, is the Raid is dead now, stuff like that. So I'm not getting panic. I don't know. Okay. I'm not getting panic, to be honest.
Okay. Now I believe Storm, you in real life do financial stuff, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I do financial stuff, yes, and this report is nice, it's fancy, it's an outline. For me to make a financial decision, I would have to take a look at balance sheets and income statements. I would have to take a look at KPIs to see what the key point indicators they're looking at and what they're going for. There's so much stuff here. Bottom line is, Boozer started this with a perfect board. And just like his disclaimer at the top of every stream that he has, that everything fits your own account, so don't do everything blindly what I do. It's a speculation, guys. Every time Kizel put out a video, what did Ray do? A different thing came out in the game, whether it was Doom Tower or something else. sometimes companies do put these little things out there, little feelers, if you will, to see how the communities and player bases react, and then they see what's being discussed, and if people want to see more, if they're worried about if they stop spending, continue spending, or whatever it is, things are. All this tells me is things might change.
Okay.
Which way they're gonna go, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I can't really change anything, no matter what happens. I'll miss the game if it's gone. I think they're pretty smart. I think they will keep it. If they sell it, I'd be more worried about health of brain for the long term, because a company like whoever owns Watcher Realms can come and say, "Hey, we really want to corner the market, but this
Oh,
game is great.
Moontoon.
This game,
Moontoon is definitely the worst.
Yeah.
Definitely worst.
But what they could do, and it could happen, they could say, "Hey, they're a thorn in our side. What are we gonna do? Let's buy them and scrap it so that we're the kings." That would be terrible. I would rather have a company like Microsoft buy it, and maybe who have a little bit of capital behind them, and maybe try to make great work. Maybe try to make it, a little bit better, a little bit different. I'm honestly, I'm hoping that Aristocrat keeps it. I think it's great. I think what's good about Aristocrat owning, I think the developers don't have any interference, and maybe that's because it was purchased that way, that they will have very minimal say in what happens. Because let's face it, the developers have a vision for a game, and they're the ones who know what to do and have a plan. Maybe we want it sooner, but it takes time to develop certain things. So I hope they keep it. But at the end of the day, just to answer a question and not to go on too much about it, it's speculation, guys. And it could just be there. Look, any news, any kind of thing, bad news or a good review, a bad review, is still a review, and it still puts things out there. YouTubers know this, right? If people don't like your video, the algorithm still is good for you.
Fair. Okay.
If everybody acts now and buys a gem pack, they'll stay with Aristocrats.
Basically, revenues, bookings, revenues. And we see a steady increase in social casinos. So the casino games, like I said, is part of the...
And on that part, I think a lot of that has to do with like the online gambling for sports betting, because that's been huge over the last like year or so since like sports DraftKings and stuff like that got in. So there's definitely been a little more of an increase of that. When I remember I went to a basketball game with a friend of mine, and it was the Celtics playing, and like I'm not a big sports fan, but the arena was sold out and people were literally watching their phones on DraftKings over watching the game. So yeah.
Other part of the gaming section. So you have RPG games, casino games, and there's a clear indicator that casino games and gaming games, so like bets, they are going up, whereas the RPG games are actually going down. So quickly reading this, Pixel United comprises of 3 operating businesses: Product, Madness, Plarium, and Big Fish Games. So if you guys will recall, Plarium and Big Fish Games are basically acquisitions that Aristocrat did in the late 2010s, 2017 for Plarium and 2018 for Big Fish Games. And they basically added these studios to basically diversify their portfolio a bit. They wanted to get into gaming, make some money in that space. Obviously, Plarium has been a big positive investment for Aristocrat, having Raid Shadow Legends generate so much money. So they're saying here, social casino has seen a growth of 2%, even though the market has declined 2%. So social casino games have been very strong. So they have several social casino games here, and they've been doing quite well. We can kind of see here, like I said, in this blue bar graph here, that they have been increasing slowly. And then you have the RPG section, which is where Raid Shadow Legends is. And you can see that their annual intake is getting slowly depressed. But Raid Shadow Legends still holding on quite well. They're saying the results benefited from both user acquisition optimization and popular new product features within Raid Shadow Legends, as well as promotional events celebrating this world-class game's 5th anniversary in March. So they're saying that user acquisition
So bookings $284 million decreased by 4%. It's still insane on how much money this game makes.
Has been optimized, and they have new features in Raid. Hence, they're still making some good money in Raid. Obviously, they haven't released any new titles in a while, so the maturing games in this category are just going to...
And that could be a very big thing, right? Plarium hasn't released anything big. I think Mech Arena was the last game they released, and that was, I want to say like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer. So they haven't really came out with anything. It's just been consistently improving on what they currently have. So this is kind of one of those things, until he mentioned this, I was kind of like, I don't think they're going to sell. But then this was kind of my first thing where it brought me into like, they're probably going to sell because they're not investing any more money into making something new, right? So that's kind of like the first thing that I saw right here that was a deciding factor that it could go down that way.
To slowly decline, as evident in this slide here where it's saying daily active users. So you have daily active users here in 2024 in the dark blue bar, 4.3 million, definitely declining.
Daily active users steadily declining, but it looks almost, I mean, we go from 5.1 to 4.3, almost a whole million players. What, if anything, do you think that represents? Let's go with Storm first.
I don't really know what drives that. Is it? I don't know. I can't tell.
It's
daily users. What do you mean?
Daily
Like, so
users,
daily
of how many people will actually play the game daily? So back in 2022 was 5.9. That was probably around the height of the pandemic or towards the end of it, right?
Okay.
And
so there is no way 5 million people playing this game.
No, there's more. There's about 8.5 million people play this game.
Yeah.
But well, okay, you just said it yourself. The height of pandemic, when people couldn't do anything in a lot of the countries, all they did was play games, and this was the game that was very popular. Why? Because they spent a lot of money on advertising. So maybe their expenses went down because they stopped putting up all these commercials with Gaelic and whatever that I've used to see on TV. And that's a huge expense, but they've invested smartly with it, and they were acquiring so many new people and so many new accounts and stuff like that. And there's your answer right now. It's just more people are playing this game, and they plug in a little bit more sparingly because maybe they don't need to grow their accounts as much and pull as many shards, like an endgame player. They'll log in every other day instead of every day.
Okay.
A bunch of things.
Ken, what about you? Is this
doesn't concern me. Bottom line.
Doesn't concern you. Okay. Does this concern you at all?
Can you explain me something really quickly? So left side 5.9, 5.1 is the how many players are playing, right? What about right side? What is the right side? Yeah, that one.
So this is how much the company grew.
So they grow then, right, on the 2024?
Yes.
But they lose player, but they grow?
Yes. The company as a whole, but you got to look at the green, right? The green is what Raid is?
Green, no.
No, green is the 2022.
Green is 2022, pink is 2023, and purple or blue, whatever it is 2024.
They're spending less money and they're growing still. Yeah, that looks good to me.
Yeah, I think. I don't.
So
I think it's good thing, right?
Yeah. Well, so this is basically their profits growing, right? So this is.
So that's what they want.
Right, but this is the game of how many players are logging in, being active. It's coming down.
That's getting very low. Yes, that's getting very low. But the profit they are making is getting high. The thing they need to work in the future. If I'm looking this thing, if I work on the Plarium, I will definitely try to make more new player. I try to make attract more player. So I will try to work on that.
Player acquisition.
Yeah, they doing daily login champion, but daily login champion, random daily login champion. I don't know that can attract the new people. Like they need to do like more collab maybe like Ninja, you know.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Because
maybe this number's coming from Ninja too. Like I don't know when he released it, but Ninja is big dude, man. Like very big dude. People just
and,
don't like the game because of him.
and what less people play, and they're making bigger profit. I mean,
This is
people-
basically what we're spending.
So people are
this
spending
column-
more and playing less.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So there
basically
you
what this means.
So they're in profit mode, and they turn in their business model to retention and just making things better for the people who've been playing this game for years. Look, as far as I recall, very quickly, and then of course others can chime in. The map that shows the bosses, right? We have a clan boss, we have Hydra, and we still have something else.
The Void
so I'm
Rift.
pretty sure, right? The Void Rift. So I'm pretty sure something else is going to come out that's going to skyrocket this game again at some point.
And we still got a missing faction.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about this.
Beer folks.
Okay.
But the thing is very me. Like the numbers back in the day was higher than today, right? I mean, not profit, but that's kind of weird because back in the day, Mr. Time actually know that very well. There is nothing in the game.
Oh no,
Bro, we
have
was
so
waiting
to do.
duplicate system over like 2 years maybe.
Well, it's 2022 versus 2020.
Yeah, so Raid is doing pretty good in my opinion about releasing new content. Like there is too many content now. Please don't release anymore. You know, almost at this point myself, and the numbers doesn't grow in that much. I mean, at least on the player base, right? That kind of a little bit.
Okay. Gestal?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think 2020 was the pandemic, right? 2022 is like 2 years later, so I don't think that necessarily had a whole lot to do with this. I think it might have been Ninja, why those numbers are so much higher in 2020 or 2022.
I can check his release date.
Yeah, but I don't think there's like everyone else has said, I don't think there's anything negative here. They're making more money. But the I guess the thing to me that this would show, I think, would be the same as like pretty much any game that's ever come out. Like you are going to start high and you tail off as the years go on. Maybe like World of Warcraft is like the only one that kind of extended that for a long period of time, or RuneScape or something. But for the majority of games, like it's hot early. You'll see, the bell curve, and then it'll like just slowly tail off, like as the game grows, for multiple reasons. But yeah, I mean, the routine players seem to still be interested in spending money. So obviously you want to get more people in. I don't think there's anything wrong with that ever. That's how you keep a game going. But yeah, I don't see anything negative.
Okay.
By the way, sorry, Ninja is released, guys, on the July 2021, and you need to log in the game until the October 15th to get them.
So it's 21, okay. So a year before that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But October 15th to get them, so like you can still get them till the end of the year. So basically 2022 almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can no player get Ninja? Sorry to cut you off. But can no players get Ninja? That's another thing that pisses me off right now. Like, a no player who actually didn't have a chance to play the game back then and doesn't have a chance to get a champion that's actually good as Ninja right now. Like, why don't you just, give the players these kind of characters that you give everyone for free?
I think that has to do something, because obviously Ninja got paid a buttload of money.
Yeah, it is collaboration.
But
they can really say ex-champion with the kind of similar
same ability. Yeah,
I definitely get it. So is Ronda, like another champion. But at the end of the day, like, let's say you made an account today. You're a new player. You see a lot of people have Ninja or Archer from Monster Hunter or Rathalos or all of these characters, right? You don't have a chance to get them. There's no other way for you to get them. You can't pull them. Even if you spend millions, you can't pull them. They're not there.
But this is how the other games also work. Like they release in skin exclusively. Like if you don't buy that, you cannot get it anymore. For example, on the Epic Legends or stuff like that.
Let me tell you something right now that's happening in a gacha game, right? Dragonair, Silent God, another game I've been playing. If you actually started the game now, you will start at season 1. You will get like the D&D events that you actually didn't have it, like you missed basically. They will put it for you to actually get a chance to get these exclusive characters that you have a one time to get. That's basically what's happening in that game. You make an account now, you start in season 1, you get every single one of them, you get a chance to get them.
It doesn't make them exclusive then.
It is exclusive because it's a one-time thing. You have a limited time to get them, basically. You have a limited time.
Exactly, limited time.
Yes, limited time.
But if you can get them again, it doesn't make them exclusive.
I think what they should have done with those is not doing promotions, even though Ninja and most of these other ones were free, except for the Monster Hunters. I think what they probably should have done is maybe done like the events in game, like we have for Marius and stuff like that. I think that probably would be a little bit of a better way. Again, though, that kind of falls into the royalties because, again, Ninja would be getting paid so much money off of this.
Yeah, we don't know the deal behind them, so
right. So that I get where you're coming with that, but I can see why they would do it that way. Because again, anything that's attached, I mean, for a lot of us that do YouTube, we know that our royalties from the ads are always going to come in, right? So it works out like that. Jay.
Overall, it's pretty good. I mean, as a player, like as a long-term player or content creator, less daily active. Hopefully, that means we've seen it. Like as streamers, as YouTubers, we've seen numbers go down. Chosen had like 300. Certain people had hundreds. Now we only have less. But I think it just basically shows that Plarium doesn't need people to be playing their game to make a lot of money because most of the people who spend the most are the big people, right? I've had some people who come previously, like at the end of 2023, right, who've come in, like they come back to raid and they spend like $2,000 and like in a few months or a few weeks they do a takeover and they do so much more they could have done instead of spending thousands of trying to get specific champions. Or even myself, we've seen it with the Heroes Path, right, how monetization has gone up, and I started spending and I was like, oh, okay, I spent too much. What I would spend in a year, I spent in 5 months. I was like, no, I need to slow this down. But it does suck. We would like to have like flourishing, have more and more players and more viewers, but I think it just shows that the big dogs is what keeps the game going. They're spending more because of primal shards, soul stones. These things are expensive, and we buy them in bulk. That helps them get their numbers, so you can have less daily active users, but still get those big numbers at the end. Hopefully, it doesn't keep going that much because we don't want the community to keep shrinking over time, right?
Right. I would hate to see that this number go down and this number go up, because then, not just as somebody who covers the game as a streamer, YouTuber, whatever, like the numbers going down of the active player users can seem a little concerning. And then just this number skyrocketing up only makes it just kind of like say, okay, well, I think it's time I leave and go find something else. Gestal.
I think I answered this already.
Oh, you did. I'm sorry. Mr. Fan.
Yes. If you asking me like about the numbers and if it's gonna decline, the only way that numbers decline, it can be like multiple things. Lack of content. People got bored with the game. People don't want to spend. People found the game expensive. I cannot tell what can decline the numbers in any game, but it's still a high number. If we're talking about from 2018, ever since the game launched, till this day, as Storm said, like if there's 9 million players playing this game right now, that's still a huge number in my opinion. It's not a small number by any chance.
I think it's 9 million accounts. I wouldn't go by players. It's 9 million accounts that they have.
Okay, let's say they have 4 million active users. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, 4 million active users right now from 2018 till this day, it's still a big number. It's not a small number.
True.
I think Plarium need to find a way how to keep the players happy. After all, happy customer is a good customer. Let's face it, it's a business. They need to make their money. I get it. But also at the same time, I'm not saying just like do something for free to play Plarium. No, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just saying find a way to keep your players in game and not leave and look for something else. Your game is good. You have potential. I've always said that. The graphics are good. Just find what you are missing.
Okay.
They are missing something and they need to find it.
All right. PJ?
Yeah, I mean, this graph kind of looks like they're going to more player retention instead of acquisition. I mean, they're getting less like higher number total, but more long-term growth and or long-term money, I guess, with the higher spenders. Yeah, I'm not really that worried. It's still, like you guys said, still a big number. Most games go down and then kind of just find their groove for what their like player base is. As long as it's not like next year, if we see it still going down a big chunk, then maybe we'd be kind of starting to get worried. But as long as it's kind of stays
Teeters
here,
out.
yeah, teeters off here, then yeah, I don't think this is anything to really look into.
Okay. Zero, what about you, brother?
So I got I'm gonna say this for a little bit later, but I got a conspiracy theory tinfoil hat that I'll put on, but I want to see more of this video. I have a theory as to what they're doing, and I think I want to save it and hear more of this video because I haven't actually watched this video. In terms of this, I think it ties to probably setting the company up to sell it and get out. But I'll do my conspiracy theory closer to the end, and we'll see what we get to. But I agree with what everybody's saying. It's all there.
Okay. All right.
What about you? What you got?
I do find this a little concerning that the player base is going down, but the profits are going up because it just feels again like they're just trying to squeeze. Yeah, exactly.
Users, however, the average bookings per daily active user is going up. So even though there's less people playing games such as Raid Shadow Legends, the dollar spent per person playing is going up. So yeah, that's interesting to see, right? So they're saying that, they're focusing more on player retention because obviously they're not getting as many players playing on a daily basis, but each player is spending more money, which I mean, it works. It's working for them. So they're able to keep their profits going. All right, so moving on to the Aristocrat Interactive part of their gaming segment, their business. So this is the part that has the, sports betting, the gambling, the lottery type games. And you can see massive increases here, 49%, 200% in terms of year over year growth, in terms of revenue and profit. So you can see this part of their business is growing massively. So you can see here iLottery, iGaming, online sports betting segment. So I don't need to be like any kind of financial analyst to tell you that this is obviously a big indicator that Pixel United, or this kind of non-gaming gambling segment for Aristocrat, is not performing as well as the rest of the business. All right. So I don't need.
And again, I think that falls down to they're just not putting in as much effort into designing new games. It's not that it's just dying, right? Because there's always new gambling games, there's always new sports apps coming out. The casino side of the gambling is always a big thing, so that's always going to grow. But the game retention, it's really depending on how the game actually performs. Like, do we like it? Like the graphics, all that stuff take into account, and them not releasing anything kind of also does the same thing.
To be a financial analyst or dive too much deeper to tell you guys that, and it's definitely not growing as much as the other segments in this business. Some of that is basically like they haven't released any new titles, so there's not too much excitement, but it's also because the games that they have are also very mature now. They're not acquiring users as quickly as before and so forth.
Wait, I'm confused.
They're still able to get some pretty
He's
good profits out of
comparing
it.
everything to, but Raid is growing. We just saw the numbers. Raid is making more money.
So Raid is making more money, but there's less of a player base. But compared
They cut their expenses.
But then he's comparing everything going down. So he's grouping Raid together, but then also like
this is
the
whole
separately.
Pixel United
together.
So this is every single game.
Right. So the total is down, but Raid's up.
So maybe rest of them is make them going down.
Right.
That's what PJ tried to say.
So if anything, they're gonna sell the rest and keep Raid. I think is what I don't know. Like I feel like
what is the other companies? Do we know?
So
the inside of the Pixel United.
It's Big Fish and Madness.
Big Fish they had to keep because they're actually gambling games.
Yeah.
But like the mech arena and stuff like that, I could see them just like cutting that and just keeping raid.
And that could very well be it.
Still very profitable, especially Raid Shadow Legends. All right, so I want to bring you guys up to speed with everything, and hopefully you guys have some context to what we're going to be talking about right now. So looking at these articles, I've been reading some of these articles about the transcript. So basically this is the call that the management from Aristocrat has with shareholders. So what people have been diving into is basically something that the CEO did mention. They're saying that in its latest financials for the first half of the financial year, that's what we were just talking about, the company said the two studios had significant scale to its social casino business and broader digital offerings. So this is what we said, that their sports betting, their gambling type games and online offerings were doing extremely well and were going to scale quite well. However, the developers' casual and mid-core portfolios, this is the RPG segment, don't fit into Aristocrat Leisure's new core feature on regulated gaming and social casino.
Okay, so that right there, what does that mean to you? How do you read that? Zero.
Yeah, so again, I think it's a business model. I need to tie in toward the end of where my wrap this up. But I think if they turn themselves into profit mode, right? They also cut expenses, so that's why they're showing more revenue. They are kind of setting us up prime for someone to potentially look at as an investable section, and they just get rid of this section of the game, right? And again, to go on to someone else and continue to grow or whatever, I don't think that's necessarily a thing. So it just sounds like their model of business is gambling and machines and maintenance and all this other stuff, and this other almost diversified risk or diversified nest egg that they built using some of the premises of gambling, but not really a gambling thing. It just makes it sound like they're better at doing the other, and at this point in time, they can cut it, and then I'll tie in my conspiracy theory at the end. That's the way it reads to me.
I'm just going to answer a question here. Alex, Longbeard's passive increases the damage output because it doesn't reduce the ally attack damage. Sorry, I've been trying to type it out for like the last 5 minutes here, but it's easier just to say Longbeard out of the two options would be better. Let's go with PJ next. What does this tell you?
Yeah, it seems like they're going more towards the actual casino slots and not like the RPG MMOs. But I don't know, like this raid is still a cash cow. Like I guess they're like kind of pumping us up to maybe drop us, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It just seems. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It seems like I feel like they're gonna keep us, but it's gonna be a big investor to buy because it's probably like $1 billion plus to buy Raid or to buy everything.
I would say a lot more.
More than that. I mean, who's gonna be like? It's gonna be a very few companies that can actually.
Microsoft can
even look at that. I mean, yeah, Microsoft, but there's only.
I don't think they will.
So it's like, who's gonna actually buy this?
They already have a Candy Crush. They already have a Candy Crush.
Let me put a little bit of context behind this. What basically this statement means is that out of the whole big picture for Aristocrat, gaming isn't something, or gaming RPG isn't something that they want to do anymore. They want to move more into just the gambling side, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what it's coming off to at this point.
That's what it sounds like. That's not what it says.
Okay, let's go to Storm next.
That's what it sounds like. That's not what it says. It's not their forte. But if it's making millions, billions, whatever you want to call it, I don't see them just dropping it unless they completely just don't want to go that way anymore. So you can't say that. Well, I mean, you can, but you shouldn't say that it's going down. If somebody, okay, look, somebody just said. I think BJ was saying that if somebody, Zero, if somebody's going to buy them and Raid is still gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on playing and making content and spending a few dollars here and there, or not, or continue being free to play. Yeah, it might not be their forte. They don't want to have a diversified portfolio anymore. But it's not. It's a speculation. What it says. It's not definitely they're going to get rid of it. I mean, if you open their portfolio and everything is gambling and online gambling and slot machines and this, and here you have mobile gaming. Okay, why? Well, we wanted to diversify. We made a ton of money. Okay, great. You either keep it or you don't, and we'll see what happens. But I don't really see it there anymore. He says there's a possibility. We're looking into every option as far as I read and saw. Doesn't mean we shouldn't jump to conclusion.
Okay, all right, fair. Let's go with Ken next.
Aristocrat, like I really don't know about casino stuff, guys, but is Aristocrat is only making this casino gamble stuff in USA, or
I think it's worldwide.
They're an Australian company. Aristocrat headquarters, I believe, are in Sydney, Australia. They're worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is some countries gambling is banned, like Turkey, for example. They cannot enter here, right? But they can enter here with the rate, right? Rate is not banned in Turkey.
That's
so
true.
That's the another thing, and it's like this kind of. I mean, gaming business are growing in general, guys. Like, and mobile game is way bigger than like PC or the console game. Like if we are talking about them, like it's skyrocket growing. I think I read something like that maybe last year, maybe earlier this year, but it's actually their profit, their income or stuff like that, whatever you called it, is bigger than a movie. Business on this it's bigger than movies now actually, so I don't think that kind of big potential, which is you are downloading the game, you don't need to build a casino or stuff like that to work it, right? You just have a studio making the game, developing the game, and you can download it from anywhere, right? So that's the good thing about the games, right? Because you don't need physical copy anymore, right? Everything is digital. So this is what the world are going, like AI stuff, for example, like going crazy, man. And again, like maybe they don't see the future like that. So maybe they decide to close the game because they want to focus the more physical casino stuff. But it's definitely not because of the Raid is doing not well. I agree with the Storm there. Raid, we see the numbers. I think Raid doing well, and they are not doing well on the getting new player, but they are doing good on the making money. So
okay, Gestal.
Yeah, it's kind of to piggyback off of what my man Storm said. I feel like a company that's making like that apparently is supposed to be hands off from Plarium. Like, why? Like, unless it was like a real burden on them monetarily, why would they try and sell it? They're making money off of a game. They're basically doing nothing. They don't. I feel like they're not even managing it. Plarium's probably managing themselves pretty much. So to me, if I run a company and you're telling me this dude over here who I don't even have to make a phone call is sending me 100 million a year, that's it. Why the hell would I sell it? Why would I sell that, bro? Why would you sell it? That's my thought process.
Okay.
So I don't know. It doesn't seem to equate. But I don't know. I don't run a company, so maybe maybe I don't know how to run companies. I don't know.
All right, Jay.
Yeah, and also just to piggyback for 1 second, just to continue with that. Yeah, I mean he's sending Gestal 100 mil. Meanwhile, he's using money from the less expenses that he's spending on there too, and Gestal can then go ahead and use that money for his portion of the business to kind of boost that up with the slots and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it just seems that it's a different wave. I mean, everything I was always brought up by my parents, everything my mom said, everything in the beginning would burn so hard, it goes out really fast. It's a curve, every business works, whether it's because of a season or something else. It just works up and down, up and down. they're just focusing their business model right now on retaining and making people who've been with them for so many years from the get-go. They're focusing on them right now, and then maybe in a couple of months, when they do that, they'll focus again on acquiring new people, new player base. So
fair. Jay.
So I see this from two different perspectives. Let's look at it first from like just pure business, not just Raid. As Aristocrat, as a company, it's a gambling company, so that you want to have gambling people who are. You don't want to have a lot of free to play players, right? So Raid, you can play it free to play, or you can spend.
Screw you, Kenpachi.
Yeah, or $15. So on the business side, right, we've seen already from what we've seen in this video is that user acquisition is going down, so less players are playing, but people are still spending, which is a good thing. But when you look at it overall in a long period for a business, you might think well, eventually we might run out of no one playing, and are the last like 1.0 are they going to be keeping up with for the previous years? That's an interesting question. Then at that point, usually you want to hand it off to someone else who focuses on games and actually creates like different things like tournaments or shows like Call the Arbiter and things like that, and makes it more about gaming instead of just a business aspect or gambling aspect. It's a gambling company, so it should make pachinko machines or things like that. Different types of things that where you want to attract customers who actually want to come in and just gamble, compared to just playing a game maybe like 8 hours a day. So that's one thing. Could it be possible that Plarium or this game could get Raid Shadow Legends could get bought out for someone else? Hopefully, it's someone who's pretty big, maybe like Activision, Blizzard, which we know they're crazy with monetization, right? Or maybe someone like Microsoft would be nice, but they would have to make sure to keep the longevity. Now, if we look at it from the non-business side and look at Raid as a player, what else do we have? We have one other faction, we have one other boss. Right, clan boss, and then what? They could add more hard levels. Okay, then what? Then
They can always say the more stuff, man. Like it doesn't have to be in the game,
Oh, of course. What I'm saying is that there's nothing else in the game physically that we can see. As a player, we've seen over the 4 years, we've seen things that weren't added, and they're getting added. Yeah, you can go to battle and maybe find a whole another mode after Cursed City. But the game, as an end game player or late game, you can see how much it would take to get there. Right, even I still can't even do Soul Cross on hard mode. Like I can't even I have a few more months, maybe a year, and I'll be able to do it. But then what then?
Don't feel bad,
right?
Jay,
So,
you're not missing anything there.
Right. What I'm trying to say is that I see the game for another 1 or 2 years, but then what after that? Usually when we've seen so many question mark things or things that weren't in the game, and we've seen roadmaps. Their new roadmap doesn't really show anything else other than maybe the new boss, like I said. But there's nothing else. There's not what they could do with the IP at that point is think of other things, right? Why don't they sell merch? Remember when Blizzard had World of Warcraft? You could buy keyboards, mouses of World of Warcraft. There was other ways to make. I'm surprised why they don't do that. But the reason for that is back to what we were talking about in this video. It's a gambling company, right? So it's their main thing is to make money, but is it really to focus on the gaming part? So I do tend a little bit more towards that. Maybe eventually, yes, they're going to slowly push out, especially with all these other companies making RPG games. That's been gacha was always anime-ish or gacha what it originally is gambling, right? Like the term.
Most of the game.
But over time, we've seen how many different types of gacha games. It's no longer just I came from a Japanese gacha as well, which is little anime girls. I moved over to other things. Now it's Dark RPG became popular. Now it's other things. I play Street Fighter Duel, which is a totally Capcom game that has its own gacha. Totally different. It's same, like AFK Arena, but it's not anime girls. It's not Dark RPG. It's something totally different. So we've seen in the market, on the store, how it's changed. So maybe just the Dark RPG part has been overplayed, and they want to, Aristocrat themselves wants to move to something else. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did sell to another company or something else.
Okay. Mr. Tham?
I wouldn't agree more about what the other stuff said, from the other guys here. It's the same thing. Let's put it this way. Raid is profitable. Still. Since day one, there's still people who spend money, who still like the game, who still want to play it. And as I said earlier, Plarium need to find a way to keep those players. I don't see, as the guy said, If a company will give me like 100 million a year, I will let it be. Why should I sell it? 100 million is a lot of money. I would just leave it be. We'll see if a company want to buy it like Microsoft as they acquired Activision and Blizzard.
$69 billion, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like Microsoft per se to acquire them because I don't like Microsoft. But if there's a good game developer, a good game developing company that will actually acquire them, it would be a good thing for us as player base.
Okay. PJ.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of touched base on this earlier, but another thing I just thought of is like, if they do sell it, no company's gonna buy this and then want the game to sink. Like, they're gonna buy it to invest and then to make more money. So I think even if they do sell it, like I wouldn't be too. I mean, obviously, companies have bought other games and have ruined them, but I think generally speaking, they're gonna, if it is sold, then they're gonna try to do the best they can with it.
Okay.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
You ready for it?
Put your potato chip hat on.
Conspiracy theory time, because it's going to chime off of what all y'all just said. All right, first of all, this is for entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer, I'm very happy with my life, and I do not want to get suicided by the Ukrainian mafia or whatever. Just kidding, of course. But seriously, if anybody has been paying attention, and my Twitch account's 13 years old, and I've played all kinds of different genres, and there is a blueprint right now and drama going on in the gaming community right now. I brought it up 2 or 3 weeks ago, but Escape from Tarkov. And so I don't know if everybody's in touch with what's going on right now, but essentially they sold their game. Hey, pay us and we'll develop this game. And what has happened is they have created the looter shooter genre game, and they have this blueprint. However, as they're building their game out, they've built this disgusting spaghetti code, and the game is intentionally not very player friendly. Okay. And that started 7 years ago. And I think Plarium started 5 years ago in terms of like release and playing the game. Right. And we know there are direct competitors that are coming out right now, and what they're going to do. And I'm telling you what's happened in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Arena, I don't know if you've seen Arena Breakout. It started out actually as a mobile looter shooter game, but they are bringing it free to play platform on Steam. And they basically, and Nikita, the owner of Tarkov, is yelling at Tencent, or the owner, Tencent's the ones that own Arena Breakout, right? Huge companies. And they're basically, he's posting where they've copied us and they copied and paste and all this stuff. But long story short, if you haven't seen or know any of this stuff, Arena Breakout is basically a clone of Tarkov, but fixed all of the problems. And they're going to come out with a free-to-play model, or pay to win, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is they're going to undercut Tarkov. Tarkov already pissed off their community. And I really feel like Tarkov this could be the quote-unquote killer officially. And I think it takes about 7 years for that to happen. And again, I'm not trying to shut out Hell Hades and that crew, right? But Fateless Gaming is basically taking the model, that's this model, and they're going to create clean code, and they're going to create, and if they undercut their prices in half, this game in 2 years could be. So everything that we've been saying today, they're cutting their marketing, they're cutting their expenses, they're making the game profitable, they're making it nice and shiny. Hey, let's sell this portion of our game and get it off of our books for what's going to happen in 2 years, and it's going to go just like Tarkov is about to go in the gaming community. So that's my 2 cents.
All right.
Thoughts on that?
I think you're making a valid point there. Definitely. I guess the way I would view Raid if I was the owner of, the company is like a stock. Like, I want to buy low, sell high. I bought it for 500 million, bought the company for 500 million. I could sell it for 3-4 billion, if not more. Right. Yeah. So I agree. It's definitely shaping up that way.
The firm is now conducting a strategic review of the assets and will assess all options. Product Madness, another game division of Aristocrat, was said not to be impacted by the plans. So there is a strategic review of Plarium and Big Fish Games non-social casino assets. Comes at Aristocrat Leisure, closed its $1.2 billion acquisition of online real money gaming solution provider Neo Games in April. So they're saying Neo Games, which is going to be part of their casino gaming segment, that's going to be basically boosting those profit and growth scale for that segment of their business. Now they're going to focus on the non-casino version games, which is where Plarium is, and they're saying that they're going to be doing a strategic review of this segment. As we can see from the earnings report, that this segment is not performing very good and definitely not in a growth stage similar to their online casino social game segment. So they're saying non-social casino games don't fit. So in an interview with Wall Street Journal, Aristocrat CEO Trevor Croker said the sale or spin-off of the two game companies, which is Big Fish and Plarium, were some of the options open to it. He added RPGs, strategy, and
so right there, they basically said, "Hey, make us an offer, and we'll think about it."
Strategy titles and casual games don't fit in scale within the portfolio. I mean, like I said, it's pretty obvious.
And this is where exactly they talk about, you know, this is not something we want to stay anymore. We don't want to stay in this genre of on our portfolios, right? We don't want the games in here. We want strictly casino-based stuff where we have to put, let's face it, for Raid, they have to put money in to develop it, right? They have to put money in to make things better, shinier, every new champions. With a slot machine, the graphics aren't going to change. The UI isn't going to change. None of that shit's going to change. Everything's going to be the same. So there is more profit in that than there is in Raid, if they can use that.
Based on what we were just reading in their earnings report, Big Fish's casino games said we're going to be excluded from the review. So Aristocrat is definitely focusing on casino games, no longer focusing on or even investing in making new titles for RPG or strategy related games. And then it goes on and says Big Fish was acquired for just under $1 billion and Plarium was acquired for just for $500 million many years ago. So now we have all the info. So basically, the CEO has already laid it out there that they are open to the option of selling basically Plarium and all its assets out to anybody that wants to buy it, because they're trying to basically restructure their entire company to focus more on casino online gaming or casino gaming products like slot machines, which the other half of their business is focused on. So now we come to the fun part of what kind of speculation we can definitely have.
Okay, so now we come to those, you know, tinfoil hat theories, because he's pretty much broken down the whole report. But I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. First of all, would you want to see the game Raid Shadow Legends Plarium be sold to a different company first? Second is going to be, which company would you want to see them be acquired by? And again, I feel like the way they've wrapped this up, that sale should not be news to us. I think it's going to be coming soon. But I'm going to start this off with Zero Brew first.
Yeah, I think they're setting it up nice to be sold. And again, if there's any validity in the diarrhea I spewed a minute ago, like you said, sell high, right? You know, they bought it for 500. They've made what? 300-400 million every year, and if they could sell it for $1 billion or 1.5 billion or 2 billion, why not, right?
Just to stop you right there, I think so. It's been a while since I've sold or bought any business, but it's usually when you sell a business, it's 5 years of income of what it actually brings in that you would value it on. So you're talking if it's bringing in about 400 million, so you're talking about $2 billion is what they're going to sell it for.
Well, I think it's the profit number though, right? So what was their profits? Either way, yeah. So a couple billion, yeah, right. I mean, you 5x your original investment plus you pocketed all the money along the way.
Yeah.
And then what was the other part of your question?
What game company would you want to see it?
Honestly, because I just got educated on what all Tencent owns. I don't know if y'all know everything that Tencent owns, but they own everything, and I think they're just like a mega billion Chinese company. I think they would keep the game going and milking the player base as much as possible if they were to acquire it. I mean, they own League of Legends, they own Discord, they own Counter-Strike, they own all kinds of the list goes on and on and on what they own, and they have different genres of stuff, right? So, where this model may fail in a couple of years, maybe they can turn it into something else potentially. Who knows? But that would be one I'd throw out there.
Okay. PJ.
Yeah, trying to look at some stuff. What was the original question?
So
do I want it to be bought?
Would you want it to be sold? And then who would you want them to sell it to?
I don't know if I would want it to be bought because I don't know, is the grass greener on the other side or not? We know what we got with Plarium and Aristocrat now. If it is sold, I would just want it to be to a company that's gonna treat it right and not just like squeeze us even harder than what Plarium or Plarium or Aristocrat's doing. I don't really know. I think someone was mentioning Amazon. I mean, who would be?
Oh God, no.
Who would be big enough to buy this?
Microsoft can do it.
Microsoft would. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It could be another company that comes in. Let's say to like Elon Musk went in and bought Twitter.
Oh God, no! Please.
Not doing nothing with social media in the past, but could you see a company like that coming in and doing it that wants to enter the space? Because the mobile gaming especially, is just blowing up.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I don't really have anyone like who I would want to buy it. Though whoever Zero said that sounds. I mean, I know CS is a long running game, very popular. Seems like they've done right by CS.
Okay. Mr. Tham.
Okay, like anyone who's gonna buy this game is gonna try to develop it because it's profitable. So if you ask me, I want like someone who's specialized in mobile games. Right? They have like already successful titles and they know what they're doing. Honestly, right now I don't have a name on the top of my head, but Tencent can do it. Not Amazon, not Blizzard, in my opinion. Even let's say already an established company like Square Enix or something that already have games. Maybe they will start doing mobile games. You never know.
Okay. Jay.
For the first question, yes, I wouldn't mind actually it getting bought out. And by who? As long as it's not Bandai. Because Bandai has actually have a record of their gacha games actually shutting down and completely people losing thousands of dollars. It's happened multiple times. They already have like 2 or 3 gachas that have actually like gone down. So as long as Bandai anything related to Bandai doesn't do it, I'm fine. I don't care if it's Microsoft or anyone. As long as it's just someone who's going to take care of the IP and actually care about it, right? Especially as we're players, we care. It's taken us a long time to get a lot of stuff. Like look how long it took us to get lore. Lore is an AFK Arena since the moment it launched. It actually you get gems for reading the lore. Same thing with Street Fighter Duel. Like the moment you pull a champion, you're like, oh shit, I can read what it's about, and by you reading it, you actually get gems for doing it. It's like to pay back the developers or whoever wrote it. So. Anything like that. There's a lot of other things that I think this game can grow on. I mean, like I've talked about card games. I've talked about things like merch. Like actual, like you can sell merch, or things like maybe over the course of years, it could go into becoming a small little MMO of Raid. Things like that with the IP. I want someone to take this and actually grow it to the next level.
Okay, Gestal.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if it got sold unless it got sold to a bad company, obviously, or something like that. But it wouldn't really bother me per se. I would hope if it got sold, it would only be for the better, not for the worse. So I guess I would be mad, or I wouldn't want to be sold if I knew it was going to a bad company. I.e., I 100% wouldn't want it to go to a huge corporation like Microsoft or Amazon. They have done zero to show me that they can actually either buy a game and improve upon it, or even manage a game. I mean, every company they've taken, Bungie, back in the day with Halo, Blizzard, Activision. I mean, every Blizzard game has been complete garbage since then. Like, how do you destroy such a great company? I think the main thing in good games is having a group of people that are actually passionate about it. Whether it's a big studio, small studio, I think it's got to be someone that's passionate about the project. If they're not, like a big corporation, they look to monetize it and kill it. So I would just hope it would go to a company that cares. That's all I would care.
Okay. Ken.
I mean, which company I want them to buy? Larian Studio, but they probably not interesting something like that, and they probably doesn't have that much money. Yeah. But in realistic, what is the most famous mobile game, guys? Like, I think Candy Crush, right? But Candy Crush is more like general genre, right? Candy Crush developed by King owned by Blizzard, and Blizzard is owned by Microsoft right now. But again, Candy Crush is different genre. So which genre and the good development right now going on recently? This actually studio, making game recently. I'm talking about miHoYo, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star. They are making new game with the Zenless Zone Zero. Man, this company is so successful, and they are doing their job very well. So I'm not sure I want them to buy this company. I'm not sure it's a good for us. As I know, I play their game a little bit. Their mercy system is similar to the raid. It's not that easy to get the legendary champion without spending money. Kind of fit. Maybe a little bit more aggressive than raid. But I think miHoYo can be nice. They know this was. They are not like a gamble company like Aristocrat. They are gacha games. They are developing gacha games, lots of gacha games, and they are really good on their business, man. They are making lots of money. So
okay.
More than Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't know anything about mobile game. Like, they literally entered recently with the purchase in Blizzard. Which is they just purchased Activision Blizzard, all the studio under them. So automatically Candy Crush is on them right now, but they didn't develop Candy Crush, so.
Okay. Storm.
Muted.
Thank you. Kids are back. So I don't know about other companies who do other things. Obviously, you guys talk about them, Blizzard, Microsoft. I know these companies don't exactly, off the top of my head, know who would be better. I don't know if it would be better. Would it be better? Like PJ said, is the grass greener? Maybe Aristocrat is preventing them to make things better for us right now, and has been all these years. Maybe they do have fixes that they could put out there, but Aristocrats are saying it's not. People are still playing. Let's hold off. Let's do something else instead. So maybe it would be better. I don't know, but maybe they're completely staying out, and Plarium is saying no. Let's just do what we've been doing and give them bits and pieces for what they really ask. I don't know. I don't want him to be. I just want him to be around. I love the game. Bottom line, I love the graphics. I love everything, a little bit of the gambling aspect of it. I don't care who owns them. I just hope they stay.
Okay. So, are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
I don't look forward to the sale, but I would welcome the sale, right? because anybody who takes it over is going to look to take a already established decent game and make it better. You're not going to take a $400-500 million game a year and squash it. There's not a lot of other games, even like Watcher of Realms or some of these other ones that are competing with Raid Shadow Legends, that would essentially say, yeah, we're going to buy it to kill it and then make our game better. It's just not going to happen. We've all, everybody out there has said the Raid kill is coming, the Raid kill is coming. Raid is going to kill itself. Now, as for who would buy it, I'm going to throw it to you guys, and I'm going to tell you Mike Morhaime, which I don't know if a lot of you know who that is, but he is the original owner of World of Warcraft. And I've actually met him, and he has such passion for what he does with World of Warcraft, where I think if he came in, he would take the game, he would cuddle it, and we could be looking at something so much bigger, so much better. So chat, I'm curious as to see what you guys think. Who would be a good fit if Plarium got bought out? Now, the last question I want to ask you guys is, if Raid got sold, would that be what makes you stop playing Raid Shadow Legends? Would you say, okay, I know the evil I'm dealing with right now, I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm going to cut my losses and say, I'm done, I'm out of here? Zero.
Raid's going to kill what Zero does with Raid. I seriously, I know I preach it every single time I'm on the show, but the time sink it takes, and it's awesome. They keep releasing new content and new champions, and they keep all the events going, and you're doing, if that's your job, is to keep us engaged based on the numbers we just saw today, you're doing a fantastic job at that. However, there is going to come a time where I'm going to want to do something else in life, versus keeping Raid up on a mobile device or my computer running 18 hours a day. And if they really have to, especially if they give us a new clan boss, especially if they give us, more factions and champions and whatever. I mean, if they give us a hard version of Sin City or whatever, a nightmare version, brutal version, whatever, they got to do something to speed it up. And they've done it. You got to give them credit. Clan boss key, awesome. As soon as they do that, then they turn on CVC for Hydra, and then it's like, oh, well, what took you 20 minutes to do now takes 6 hours to do. We're going to release live arena. Well, if you're doing your tokens every day like I do, that's minimum 1 hour to run 10 tokens, minimum. So they got to speed up the game, and eventually I'm going to get tired of it. Not today,
that doesn't
not tomorrow.
Answer the question. I asked you if it got sold, would that be your I'm done, I'm out of here because I don't know what's coming?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. That's
Okay.
the easy answer.
That's
but I got on my platform and I got to say what I wanted to say, damn it.
First of all, let me because I see some comments out here about Mike Morhaime. He wasn't the one that caused World of Warcraft to be what it is now. Most of this stuff happened after he exited. Just so we're clear, while he had it, he was very invested in it, and he had his hands everywhere, right? So I feel like somebody like that would be the one, and the reason for that is because he's just so passionate about what he does. PJ, what about you?
No, I mean, if they sell them, they're gonna still play it and try it. You can't just stop just because they sold it. You have to check it out. I mean, because it could be way better. I mean, they might take it and make it even better than what it is now, and might even love it more.
Can I ask a question here?
Yep.
Like, Aristocrat selling it doesn't have anything to do with Plarium. It's just really the handcuffs on their budget or handcuffs on their direction, right?
I think there's a lot more than that. Again, you got to remember when a company comes in and acquires something, for the most part, it's how are we going to make more? We're going to acquire it, and then we're going to want to sell it somewhere off again to, make money. Because why would you buy a game where you don't know the lifespan of the game. Like Microsoft bought World of Warcraft because it had such a huge player base, and yes, I do see all the comments right now that are saying, look at what World of Warcraft is right now. I haven't touched it in years. I would love to go back, but the nostalgia is not there anymore for me, to what it was. But it's like they would come in, they would buy it, they would improve it, and they would look to resell it to another game company. And that's kind of like what happens with most companies. They come in, they'll acquire, like I said, UPS came in and acquired a freight company. They picked it through. They sold off what they needed to sold off, and then they sold it for 10 times more than what they bought it. Right? Go ahead, PJ. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good stuff. Yeah, I don't know if raid. I don't know if you can do that with games. I don't know if you can correlate the same as like a shipping, because you don't have like a fan base or anything like that. Like you have to keep people happy. You can't just buy a game and then just start doing shit stuff and then people are gonna leave. I was also gonna say the other thing about like updates and updating the game is they like slowly drop updates a little bit here and there. If they just dropped every update that we wanted, then people are gonna always want like more and more and more. They make us happy a little bit, then we like piss us off. They make us happy a little bit, they piss us off. So it's kind of like a give and take with like the slowly upgrading. But a lot of games do that. They don't just upgrade everything or fix everything instantly. They do it over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Tham?
I don't think that's gonna bother me, honestly. If it's sold, it's sold. If it's, I'm gonna play a game for the game, right? If it's sunk, then yeah, I'm gonna be sad, but it won't bother me at all, honestly. It just like, as we said, like, let them polish it, be a better game for the best of us, Like right now, they make the game like you need a lot of time to play it on your hand. It became like a job.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I don't want to spend like 1 million hours playing the game every day.
Okay.
That's my take.
Jay?
I already answered this. What are you
so
asking me now?
I'm asking you, would you consider still playing it after it's been sold to a different company?
Oh, you mean, yeah, of course I'm going to play it. I mean, bro, it's bought by a game company. It's going to change the game more than a game. It didn't matter who bought it. I mean, unless it's not, I said it, if as long as Bandai doesn't buy it, I'm totally fine with whoever gets it. I don't mind.
Okay.
It could be anybody.
Right.
I don't care.
All right, Gestal?
Yeah, again, I don't think it would. The selling of the game wouldn't really change anything for me. It'd be what would happen after that, how they performed, what went on. So I don't think just the sell of the game alone would do that. Again, only if it was like to a company that we knew was going to destroy it, and I'd be like, well, that's the end. But I'd probably play it, at least for a couple more months just to see kind of what would happen. But I don't think I would just give up because of a sale of a game. No.
Dogfather says here, Elon Musk or Donald Trump would buy it. I don't think. I mean, Elon Musk maybe has enough money. Donald Trump, I don't think so.
Really? Oh, I don't want the not George, man, judge earlier. If the company bought it, I prefer to wait and see if there's a changes on the negative side. Then you can decide, right? If the changes on the positive side, it's a good thing. If there is no changes, well, there is no changes, right?
Okay.
There is a on your previous question. Can I add one more thing there?
Yeah.
I saw the comment from Fall Reload on the chat. He mentioned the Tencent. Tencent can be good actually, guys, because Tencent is the almost on all of the percent of the GGG gear grinding game, which is I think the best free-to-play friendly game they are making, Path of Exile. Like literally they own 80%, I believe, their stuff. Like Tencent own 80% of the GGG who make the Path of Exile, and the game is the most free-to-play friendly game. There is literally no pay-to-win stuff. You need to maybe purchase some storage, but they're on the like $30 one-time only thing. So all of the rest of the stuff full cosmetic.
Okay.
So
Is that who Zero said? Wait, who did you say Zero?
Yeah, that's who I said. Yeah, they own everything. If you look into it, they 100% own.
Yeah,
Quiet. Yeah. But they own, but y'all were, because the people that came after me all mentioned mobile games, but they do PUBG Mobile, they do Arena Mobile, they do, and I know those are shooters, they're different, completely different genre, but they have extensive studio knowledge of mobile gaming.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tencent is growing very, very quickly.
All right. All right, Mr. Storm.
I think I answered already, but
Would you continue playing it if it got sold to somebody else?
Absolutely, but again, I would see.
Okay.
I've invested way too much to stop playing it, so I would have to. I would have to wait and see what was happening. Yeah,
Fair
it would have
enough.
mattered. It would have mattered to me, but I would have to go down with the ship.
Okay. And I'm kind of the same way. The investment is let's just say real, and so I would stick it out, but I'd be
Your gear
hesitant.
doesn't say that, by the way.
But I would say I'd be a lot more cautious about being non-free to play. That's all I could say with that one, but I'd still stick it out, but just be really cautious because, again, as PJ said, the evil that you know is better than the evil that you don't know. So, yeah. All right. I think the sale of Plarium is probably something we could expect. So if we hear about it, we shouldn't be too shocked. It was, pretty much made out blindly, pretty much brought out to us there, and it seems like everything is being tied up nice and neatly just to give you the perfect little present. Now, I do want to say, what would you guys think about if we started a GoFundMe and purchased it as a community? Would that be something that could happen?
Yeah, right.
Just a
I don't
thought.
think I don't think there's enough funds to.
It's $2 billion. Come on.
Need a few more players.
Hold on. Let me see. Plarium makes everything from us. So if we hold out, we drive the price down by not spending, and we buy. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying, Chad.
Might be onto something.
Just saying. We know we got a couple of Saudi princes that play the game. Let's talk. All right. So, guys, it has been a wonderful time today. Again, thank you all for joining us. Real quick, let's do some shout outs. Mr. Zero Brew, what you got for me, brother?
Just really shout you out. I'm sure I've said this before in the past, but ladies and gentlemen, y'all don't have any clue what this man goes through, setting us up when we're in the green room and just putting everything together, and of course staying with the community. And he's doing a lot off stream, and plus he's putting out his content out there. So yeah, BLAZIN, you do a fantastic job. So you get all the credit for coordinating all this. It's corralling a bunch of cats. So you get the creepy heart hand of the day.
Thank you. And I think I'm actually going to do this just giving you guys an insight of what the show actually happens, what these guys talk about when the microphones are muted, or I think a lot of you would like to see that. So maybe we'll do some behind the scenes where I don't know if I'm allowed to post it on YouTube or not.
No, not today. Not today, one please. Okay.
But I think the community would love to see what happens in the background while they're waiting. PJ, what about you, brother?
I got a shout out to Kratos AA. I got his link, or I can drop his link in the chat here in a second. But he's a French streamer, also speaks English. He's a cool dude. Check him out. And yeah, drop him a follow.
All right.
His link here.
Mr. Tham, welcome back to
Yes.
Raid. Now, who is your shout out, brother?
My shout out is actually two guys are here, Kenpachi and JR. I know them for a long time.
Thank you.
I'm gonna shout those guys out. It's been always a pleasure, having them, talking to them, playing with them. I had the pleasure to be in a podcast with Saf. Yes, and the Saffron Man is one of these people who did a lot for the Raid community and for this game. Of course, in the award show, he was doing a lot. Even the song Raidzilla you were playing, he was the person working behind the scene to make that happen. So a big shout out to Saf. You did wonderful, man.
All right. Hey, Jay, what you got for a shout out, my man?
My shout out goes to Mr. Carnage on Twitch.tv. You guys usually see me wearing his shirt most of the time, but today I'm, raping the.
And on that subject, that's only going to happen for a couple of more weeks because you know why. You know why.
Oh, okay.
No.
Go ahead, Jay.
But yeah, pretty much shout out to Carnage.
Okay. Gestal, what about you, brother?
No, I'm gonna shout out my man On Fire YT. That's fire with 2 E's. He's a big guy over in Clash of Clans. He's been poking his head into the Raid Shadow Legends for like the last month or two. Cool guy over there in Germany, man. Go give him a follow. That's On Fire with 2 E's, YT at the end.
Okay. Kenpachi.
Well, we're talking about the old stuff. First of all, Mr. Tam, good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for the shout out.
Likewise,
Guys,
my friend.
yeah, like I really love his content, guys. Like, let Duchess actually hurt my soul. I think you fit your Duchess, right? Because of the how to say that? You wasn't
happy
about duplicate
Yeah,
system.
I pulled the
so
7th or an 8th, and I failed.
Yeah, empowers. Yeah.
That before empowerment, I actually used ours. But
Exactly.
We didn't have empowerment back then.
Yeah, exactly. My shout out is going to Ayumi Low. Actually, he have a website very long time since the game exists. I think before the Hell Hades, before the Gestal, I believe, right, Gestal? Your website,
well
I mean.
before. I think it was the first. I think I'm in Love was the first. Yeah.
Yeah, like he have pretty much every information about the champion guys, and he recently started YouTube, I believe, because I was sub his YouTube very long time, but he recently started releasing video about the Raid Shadow Legends. So I'm gonna leave the link on the chat if you guys interesting.
Okay, let's go. Storm, what about you? He's like,
obviously,
wait,
of course.
I'm on the spot. Who am I gonna shout out? Your wife
I
and kids.
will, right here. Smiley TK, my dude, my very close neighbor, also does a free to play series on YouTube. Go, find him, subscribe, give him a follow. Really good dude. I actually got back into Raid after quitting the first time because of him. Nice content, but also, Blaze, thank you for doing everything you do, for dealing with all that you deal with. Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you. So my shout out, I've got 3 here. So the first one's actually going to go to Ash, who actually hit 200,000 subscribers. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he is the only content creator that ever got their own promo code for Raid. So Ash Celebrates is a promo code. If you haven't already, go get yourself some promo codes, go get yourself some rewards. And huge shout out to Ash for completing that. That is a big thing for a lot of the channels to do, right? I think as of right now,
in Arena.
I think as of right now, it's only him and Hell Hades that have hit anything over 100,000, right? The next one's gonna go to Sus. He gave out a sub to Wolfex and did another one for himself. So shout out to you, my brand. And Alex D, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead. Guys, where can everybody find you? Mr. Zero Brew.
Yep, you can find me on YouTube's Zero Brew, although the content is not as frequent as some of the others in here, but then again, check me out on Twitch Sunday, Tuesday, Friday nights, and then some daytime streams Monday and Thursday. But come hang out. We have a great time, and we get happy and mad at our accounts all together as one, because that's what Raid does to us.
Okay. PJ.
Yeah, MXPJE on Twitch. I stream pretty much every single weekday, 2 times a day, mostly. Do lots of endgame Hydra, live arena, top 500 in that, pushing for that. Low count, help count takeovers, all that good stuff. Stop by, say what's up.
Okay. Let's go with Mr. Tham.
As usual, back on streaming on Twitch. You can find me there. My YouTube channel is the same. You're probably gonna see a lot of farming nowadays and catching up because I didn't play this game in a long time. There's a lot of new characters now.
Okay.
A lot.
All right.
Just study.
Jay, what about you? Where can everybody find you, brother?
You can find me with both Twitch, twitch.tv, and youtube.com with one name, JR*3.
All right. Gestal?
Yeah, Gestal Gaming on Twitch and YouTube's, and www.gestal.gg is the website.
Awesome. Ken?
FinalKenpachi on the YouTube and at the same time on the Twitch, streaming every single day at the Columbus Reset on the Twitch, guys, except the Sunday. Sunday I'm exclusive in here. Well, doing free-to-play stuff, Gold 4 live arena, guys, using RX still. Got lots of struggle, but still Gold 4, so I'm proud of that.
Awesome.
I wish the drop actually, not gonna lie.
It's hard.
But yeah, this is what we're doing.
Okay. Storm, what about you?
Storm Gaming RSL at Twitch whenever I do stream. But you could probably find me in all of your streams when you guys are up and streaming if I'm not working. So
Okay.
and probably every Sunday here if this is going to be a regular thing. Hopefully.
All right. All right. And that is true. You can find all of these guys here every Sunday, along with any of your other favorite Raid Shadow Legends content creators, whether they're YouTube or streamers. They're all more of them welcome to come on the show and talk with us. I enjoy having every one of you here. Guys, we are going to raid Just Nils TV. Go in, show them some love from the raid, give them a follow, right? And, I hope to see you all here next week. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next week.